One corps is a multinational formation consisting of units from both the Royal Netherlands Army and German Army. The Corps headquarters also takes part in NATO Response Force readiness rotations. It is situated in Münster, formerly the headquarters of the German Army's 1st Corps, out of which one German Netherlands Corps evolved. The Corps has national and multinational operational responsibilities, and its commanding officer is the only one in Europe to have OPCON in peacetime. Due to its role as a NATO High Readiness Forces headquarters, soldiers from other NATO member states, the United States, Norway, Spain, Italy, the United Kingdom, France, Greece, Turkey, Czech Republic and Belgium are also stationed in Münster. History. In 1991, the defense ministers of the Netherlands and Germany decided to establish a binational unit to replace one German and one Dutch corps. In 1993, a treaty between the two countries was signed which resulted in two previously independent corps being amalgamated to form one corps, a one corps consisting of one German and one Dutch division. 1st German Corps had previously consisted of 1st Panzer Division, 3rd Panzer Division, 7th Panzer Division, 11th Panzer Grenadier Division, and 27th Airborne Brigade. After the end of the Cold War, various corps troops, such as Air Defense Command 1, Pioneer Command 1 and Medical Command 1 were dissolved in September 1993. For the 1st Corps headquarters itself, the plans saw first of all that it should be amalgamated in Mönchengladbach with the Territorial Northern Command. However, new considerations to multinational units meant that the German I.Corps headquarters was disbanded in August 1995, being merged into the One Corps. The Corps readiness for action was achieved on August 30, 1995 and celebrated in the presence of the Dutch Prime Minister Wim Kok and the German Chancellor Helmut Kohl. The headquarters were chosen to be in Münster because Münster was already the location of the German Corps headquarters. On top of that, it was chosen due to the particular significance for both countries as the place where the Peace of Westphalia was signed. In 1997, Germany and the Netherlands laid down the cooperation in several documents. In general, these state that Germany and the Netherlands provide the core framework on an equal basis. Both countries share the responsibility for command and AMP control capabilities. In 2002, the Corps met NATO full operational capability criteria and was certified to act as a high readiness force headquarters capable of rapid deployment, as part of a NATO combined joint task force. Since 2002, the multinational Corps HQ has been based on a memorandum of understanding between 12 NATO nations. The original tasks of the Corps lay in the defense of the territories of NATO member states as part of NATO's main defense force, as well as taking part in peacekeeping missions, humanitarian missions and emergency aid during natural disasters. Soon after its final operational capability, the Corps was given new tasks. It was designated Forces Answerable to the Western European Union, and since December 1999, the Corps is a land component command within NATO's command structure. At this time, its subordinated divisions were the 1st German Panzer Division from Military District Command 2 in Hanover, and the Netherlands 1st Division, the 7th of December, a mechanized infantry formation stationed in Apeldoorn, principally its 41st Armored Brigade. In 1990, s 41st Light Brigade, that had been stationed in Seedorf, Lower Saxony as part of NATO deployments for several decades. At the same time, the transition to a multinational unit began. which included considerable issues in organizational psychology between the two forces. After concluding exercise Cannon Cloud at the Baumholder training area in November 2002, the Corps became a High Readiness Forces Headquarters (HQ) as part of NATO's Combined Joint Task Force. The first deployment within this framework took place between February and August 2003 when the Corps operated as ISAF's headquarters in Afghanistan. Following the command periods of the United Kingdom and Turkey following this, the Land Component Command was further developed. For the beginning of 2004, the Corps was subordinate to NATO Allied Joint Force Command Naples and became NATO Response Force Headquarters in November 2004. During the first half of 2005 it was on standby as the 4th Headquarters NRF-4. Since the transfer of the 1st Belgian officer in 2005 and 10 French Armed Forces officers in 2006 to Münster, 12 nations are represented at one German Netherlands Corps. From January to July 2005, the Corps assumed the standby role as the NATO Response Force Land Component Command to demonstrate the NATO initial operational capability. During the months of May and June 2005, one Corps practiced this capability by conducting Exercise Iron Sword, a challenging deployment field training exercise to practice multinational operations in an expeditionary environment. In deploying more than 6,000 soldiers and 2,500 vehicles by land, air and sea from Central Europe to Norway, the Corps clearly illustrated the progress made during the NATO Response Force standby period and made a real contribution towards the continual development of the NATO Response Force full operational capability. The Corps was also the on-call High Readiness Force for NATO contingency operations in 2008. In 2009, the Corps deployed to Afghanistan providing the core staff of the International Security Assistance Force and the ISAF Joint Command. The Corps also provided national troop contributions, most notably a 40-man contingent to Regional Command South. For mid-2013 until January 2014, some 200 multinational staff officers and soldiers deployed to Kabul, Afghanistan, to contribute to the ISAF HQ, ISAF Joint Command and other units. In 2015, the One Corps HQ was on standby for the NRF for the third time, following the decisions taken in Cardiff, Wales. Additionally, the Corps was tasked to develop and test the initial Very High Readiness Task Force concept, which resulted in deployment of units from Belgium, the Czech Republic, Germany, the Netherlands and Norway to the Zagan training area in Poland to conduct exercise Noble Jump. Due to the security situation at that moment, NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg, SACEUR General Philip Breedlove, 4 Ministers of Defense as well as some 200 journalists visited the exercise. Currently, apart from its Staff Support Battalion and Command Information Systems Battalion, the Corps does not have assigned units any longer. Following a forced generation process, the Corps will get multinational units assigned to create a tailor-made organization capable of meeting the given tasks. For mid-2017 until mid-2018, the Corps will be on standby as NATO Joint Task Force HQ together with its sister HQ French Rapid Reaction Corps in Lille. Following that, in 2019 the Münster HQ will be on standby again for the NATO Response Force. Commander's current structure. In an emergency, the Corps must be able to deploy and lead a military mission inside and outside NATO territory within 20 to 30 days, and in case of being on standby for NRF or VJTF, first elements will be deployed within 2 days. The commander, as noted above, is the Dutch Lieutenant General Michiel van der Laan. The Chief of Staff is the German Brigadier General Dieter Meyerhoff. The Deputy Commander is German Major General Stefan Thomas. The Corps contains 4 entities led by Brigadier Generals, namely the Support Division, the Operations plus Training Division, the Knowledge plus Policy plus Plans Division, and the Communication plus Engagement Division. The following units are permanently part of HQ-1 Corps: Staff Support Battalion, Communication and Information Systems Battalion. Both these units are fully binational, manned with German and Dutch soldiers.